Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening to our friends at City of 10,000 Buddhas. And 大家早安、午安，还有晚安。我叫恒师，今天是10月16号在澳大利亚，10月15号在万佛圣城。我们现在继续研究大方广佛华严经十回向品。Okay, today is the 16th of October here in Australia and the 15th of October, City of 10,000 Buddhas. We are going to continue to investigate the Ten Transferences chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. I trust, is everybody satisfied with my volume? Can somebody put in the chat box, yes, Dharma Master, the volume sounds good. Or turn it up, can't hear you. It's good. 这个声音可以听得到哈？听清楚吗？Audio is clear. Good. Okay. 好的。Good. All right. That's good. All right. Now, today, Ling Feng is going to do the Dharma request all the way from Seattle, I believe. So let's share this, make this screen full size. And I will ring the bell 3 times and invite Ling Feng to request Dharma. 那我们先上佛礼3问讯礼，然后林峰来请法。好 ，First bow, second bow, third bow. All right. Ling Feng, if you're ready to request Dharma, please do it now.
恭请大德上听，为此法会，及一切众生，请转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱死，离苦得乐，速证无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchedoye olahudi sammyao sanputosye.
Namo sadanto suchedoye alahadi sammyao sanputosye.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. All right, Ling Feng, appreciate the Dharma request. And the next thing we'll do is invite the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and the Dharma protectors to draw near. 我们现在迎请天龙八部护法神神莅临道场祝福各位。 we proceed to acknowledge country and say that the Pomo people practice spiritual connections to the earth and to all creation here in Mendocino County, their ancestral land for tens of thousands of years, and today we acknowledge them as traditional custodians and original storytellers of these lands. We offer our respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 就说婆摩人在他们祖先的土地上修炼着他们与土地和万物的精神联系有数万年。今天我们承认他们是这些土地的传统监护人和原始讲故事的人，并向他们过去、现在和新兴的长老们表示敬意，以及主权从未被割让的所有第一民族人民们表示敬意。Okay, furthermore, the bells sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 众生传3000劫内，佛法扬万亿国中，共训其法界和平，利报他诺后者。May it be so. We'll send that away for now. And take a quick look here. Where are we? We are beginning a new dedication, number 7 out of 10. 我们今天刚好开始第7回向，本来有10个上次我们把第6回向讲完了，今天我们又从这个第7回向开始。Today we have in our lecture, we have 100 friends, and that's here on Zoom, and we also have numerous friends listening in on YouTube. So, let's see, I'm curious. I'm just going to, let's see here. Why not? So, of our 100 friends who are gathered here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, okay, 52, 53, 54, 55. 55, almost exactly half of our audience is outside of China, and half is inside of China and or Taiwan. How about that? 看起来我们现在100个人在线，100名，刚好一半就55个人。是在中国和台湾呢之外，就说有一半，就说收听从中国各地还是台湾呢，包括马来西亚OK，包括香港在内 ，yes。Okay, that's very interesting. I often thought it was that way, that it was almost half and half, and that's very helpful to know, very useful. Okay, here we go. Shall we read the title? Let's read the title since it's only once that you do this. Here we are. 大方广佛华严经十回向品第25之7。The Avatamsaka Sutra, Chapter 25, the 10 Dedications, Part 7. Well done. Its title is 七等水顺一切众生回向. The seventh dedication, the dedication that accords with all living beings equally. Okay, let's talk about that. Our title, I read a commentary, very helpful commentary, that said, let me stop sharing, there we go. The commentary said, here we are, okay, that much of the Avatamsaka Sutra follows the paramitas. What are the paramitas? The paramitas are ways that bodhisattvas teach. And the paramitas, ordinarily, outside of the Avatamsaka Sutra, there are 6, 5 and 1. 6. When you get to the Avatamsaka, there are 10 paramitas. And the reason for this is the Avatamsaka Sutra talks about the Bodhisattva path. That's the topic. And it takes the Bodhisattva path from top to bottom, from bottom to top, from the Chu Fa Xin, from the first resolve, all the way to Buddhahood. And the dharmas that bodhisattvas practice, the way they practice their Buddhist faith, is the subject of the Avatamsaka. And there's a unique set of dharmas that are connected to the bodhisattva path completely, and that's the paramitas, poromi, dharmas that take us across affliction to the other shore of nirvana. So, what are they? We know. Let's look at them in pairs. There's generosity, giving, and precepts, morality. And the generosity part says, well, let me translate that before I go into into the 6. 就说我们分析华严经是讲菩萨道，从出发心最早最开始，一直到成佛，到妙觉菩萨。那个华严经讲那个菩萨道从头到尾很完整很彻底。然后呢，这个如果从里边分析，就说菩萨道呢有一般来讲6个法门是专门给行菩萨道的人修的，那是6波罗蜜6度就是道彼岸的法门。华严经呢就有10个，因为是讲行菩萨道的最彻底最圆满，所以我们另外加4个。那我们知道这个六度呢是什么，然后我回来讲英文。So we're back. What are the 6 paramitas, the 6 dharmas that cross over that most people know about? They start in pairs. It's easy if you look at them in pairs. So generosity or giving and morality, that's the beginning, that's the start. We open up our hearts by giving things. All Buddhist practice begins with donation. Generosity and moving beyond yourself. The reason is the self wants everything for me and mine. The self is this thing that makes us think that we're broken from others, from other beings. And as soon as we think we're broken from other beings, we can do all kinds of bad stuff. Because we see it that way. I stop right here. This is my skin is my limit. So when the Buddha accomplishes Buddhahood, what has he done? He has broken through that self. He's exploded that view that thinks that I am just this. The Buddha experiences no limits to this former thing called the self, instead a connection to all life, great compassion. So the way you deal with that self is through practice. And the practices, giving is the first one. You give by getting outside. By giving, you get outside that view of self. You share things with others. And the counterpart of that is you understand that there are behaviors with body, mouth, and mind that if you 戒 them, if you restrain them, if you practice restraint, you meet no obstacles. Whereas if you violate those things, you actually 碰钉子, you obstruct yourself. Killing, stealing, lust, lies, intoxicants. In particular, those are the first 5, but then you go on to the others. 就说我们明白，我们研究这个6度还有10度的关系，我们就用一双一双来分析，就是布施还有持戒2个，就说修行最大的障碍就是我相我见，那个我相我见是如果坚固的话，那就不能修行。佛陀成佛是做什么的？他是把这个我相看破放下，他明白我不是限居在皮肤这儿，我不是这个单位里边的而已，这么一个人。其实那个我相真的看破放下，修到没有，那个时候你明白什么？同体大悲，就是我们都有联系的关系，我们都连带，一切众生是一体的。那个是从佛的眼光看的，就这么说。所以呢，怎么看破放下呢？就是6度，菩萨用这个来读。第一呢，布施。那个我相我见的，这是我所有的东西，我和我有的。Me and mine， 我的家庭，我的亲戚，我的汽车，我的东西，我的金钱什么的。那么有智慧，真的明白真实的法，你就说这不是我的。其实这个身体也不是我的所以这个我见那个我假的我那个是障碍智慧。所以布施是一个最好一个开始的方法，把这个我相布施出去了。然后呢，这个持戒呢，你就知道真的想修行要证得同体大悲、无怨大慈，你就有一些行为会障碍我的修道，就是杀盗淫妄酒五戒。所以持戒是帮助修行避免那是最大的障碍。Okay, 2 more. Ready? I keep jumping back and forth between English and Chinese, right? The next pair are patience and vigor. Sometimes vigor is translated as strength. And the idea is once someone actually gets the flavor of cultivation through restraint, by not killing, you enhance your life. By not stealing, you guarantee you have enough to sustain your life. By not cheating on relationships, you have supportive relationships. You're not emotionally in turmoil. By not lying, people don't lie to you. The world you walk through can be believed in. Also, by not intoxicating yourself, you move towards wisdom without any break, without a pause. So when you have that experience, you think, what else can I cultivate? Maybe if I do that longer, it'll be stronger. So you start to add practices. You patiently watch your cultivation grow. Cultivation is organic, just like growing a garden. So you have to be patient. You can't plant and harvest the next day. You have to wait for the seasons. So you practice and cultivate with the seasons. That's patience. And then further, you add strength. You do it regularly without a break. Oh my goodness, pretty soon you've got a body called the Fa Shen Hui Ming. Dharma body and wisdom life are strong and healthy. 那么接下来还有2个，就是忍辱精进。本来是布施波罗蜜持精就是施乐持戒波罗蜜然后呢忍辱忍耐忍辱波罗蜜，然后呢精进波罗蜜。那个忍辱呢，忍耐怎么说呢？你就要时间长，你就说你持戒，你知道这个清凉那种自在修行 不杀生，你就有养生的精神；不偷盗，你就是一切物质够了，滋养你的生命，你没有缺了你没有缺乏这个养生的这些外边的资料总有够了能用。然后呢，你就不邪淫，你的亲戚、你的六亲眷属护持你，你不会碰到一天到晚这些情绪上的一些问题然后那你不会有 mood 今天就是飘飘然，明天犹豫不会坚固然后不妄语呢，你就人不会骗你，不会欺骗你，你所做的事总是到成功就没有障碍，因为你自己不打妄语然后呢也不会打官司没有人来告你然后不饮酒，所以你就你不必就说一个礼拜修行5天，然后2天度假去吃喝玩乐，然后星期一呢where was I 好像往后退，不必一直走。好了，你知道这个持戒的这种的清凉，你就说我想增长我修行这些法门。可是修行是什么呢？就像种菜一样的，那就是说要明白春夏秋冬，春夏秋冬，春夏秋冬，每一个季节，每一个这个四季都有它的栽培，都有它成长的时间，就是很正常的，按照大自然界都会慢慢的成熟又收获。你如果今天种下，然后打算明天收获，办不到的，所以都要忍，要忍耐，要懂得时间。修行是有机的 （organic）， 不是那个 AI 不会帮助我们修道所以就是人工智是不会的所以你就知道忍辱，然后呢，你就加力那个精进就说一天修行一天功夫一天不修行10天就少了功夫，这样子那个道理要精进。Okay, we're back. The last two, this gets good, right? So the last two are samadhi and wisdom. So we started with generosity, dana paramita. Next we went to shila paramita, which is perfection of precepts, of restraint. Number 3 was virya, was kshanti paramita, the patience paramita, the perfection of patience. Number 4 is virya, the perfection of strength. Then we get to the last two, which are dhyana paramita and prajna paramita. What is dhyana? Meditation. Samadhi, dhyana samadhi. And the number 5 to investigate this, samadhi is real. Samadhi is a transformation of body, mind, and spirit that puts things into another realm. Let's see, the very best way I can demonstrate. I keep doing this. Everybody goes, oh, here he goes again. Okay, you ready? This is life before samadhi. Like that, right? Very nice. This is life after samadhi. Here's before. Here's after. It's another octave, okay? Same string, but it resonates in a different way. With samadhi, your life goes into another 我到讲中文的时候不要再打，你们懂中文的人你就记得那个音乐 So the idea is that with samadhi, you're able to focus in a way that doesn't get distracted. It is joyful and blissful and completely yours. And there's something, what would give an analogy to it? It's like if you are swimming underwater and all you can see is the water in front of you and to the sides, but you can't see very far. And then at one point you get your head up out of the water, you realize, oh, I've been swimming in this water. Look, wow, there's just 1,000 miles of clear blue sky over my head. I had no idea I was in the water. Everybody else is in the water, but I can see that, that I'm actually also under the sky. That's the advantage of samadhi. It allows wisdom. So samadhi is working together with wisdom to give you insight into principles. You never make mistakes. You know exactly what to do in any situation. The things you do that allow you to use the Dharma, you can use the Dharma in a way that just, it just flows. You never make a mistake. You are in touch with the Tao. Once samadhi leads to wisdom. So giving and precepts work together to open the possibility of cultivation. You can see beyond the self a little bit. Patience and vigor allow your wisdom to transform your life. Samadhi and wisdom are the joy that allows the bodhisattva to actually get the fruition of cultivation. 最后一对是禅定般若这个禅定刚刚弹那个乐器呢，就是一条线，可是有两音，还没有入定之前，就是嘣，入定之后嘣嘣嘣，同一条线，可是两个音。这个那是比喻，就说你没有入定，你还不知道那个禅定是什么。我们就是在水底下在那儿游泳，跟一切众生一样。那个入定之后，哎呦，眼睛出了水，原来我们都在这个海里边，想不到还有万里晴空，万里天，那个万里无云，万里晴天，万里无云，在上边也是在其他的众生都在水底下。不知道在哪里，然后呢？哎呦，出了头了！哎呀，那我明白我们去哪里，方向不清楚。那是比喻，意思是说，我现在知道道理、真理所以智慧就从那个禅定开始，他们是一对布施、持戒是一对，忍辱。定见是一对然后禅定般若是一对。你能入定，有这种定力，你就会专心，不会散心那有什么情形出来了，有什么问题呢？一清一楚，你就知道怎么处理，最好的方法所以能入定，有禅定的功夫，智慧就出发，你就会用智慧，你知道怎么样，每一个情形，你就会转境界，你就拿到最圆满的一个结果。所以这6个是菩萨会用的。那么到第6个，你就了生脱死，有这个般若波罗蜜，你就真正有功夫。12因缘，这个是这个法界的以前看不到的，不能说秘密，不是秘密，就是你自己看不到，你现在就像手掌一粒苹果一样的。So the advantage of prajna wisdom, number 6, is at this point You understand, you could call them the secrets of the universe, but they're not secrets. They're available to anybody who can cultivate to that point. You understand the 12 links of conditioned arising, how everything comes into being and passes away. Clearly, just they say the way you'd hold an apple in the palm of your hand. That's the benefit of prajna paramita that arises from dhyana paramita, from meditation. So the first 4 are the prelude to the last 2. But are you ready? Here's the jumping off point. Those 6 are the prelude to the last 4. And that's where we get to today, number 7. The 7th paramita corresponds to what is called upaya paramita, the paramita of expedient means, expedient wisdom. This is where the bodhisattva takes everything that he or she has learned so far and applies it to teaching others. The next 4 transferences that correspond to the next 4 paramitas are teaching. Now the bodhisattva goes, I've left birth and death behind, and I can now stick around and help others leave. So these are all, the next 4 are expedient skill, ways to teach that never mistake. They're always right on. And the bodhisattva becomes a teacher at this point and really starts to make good his or her vows to benefit living beings. 就像这前4个不失持戒精忍辱之精进，就会让菩萨有定力，然后有智慧。同样4个支持2个，通通6个支持最后4个。哪一个？华严经说10波罗蜜。我们现在已经讲到第7个，是不是？大家知道了哈。第7波罗蜜哈，这是等于第7回向是等于第7波罗蜜，是方便智慧。Upaya paramita 就是方便度、方便波罗蜜。这样子呢，菩萨他用他的前6个波罗蜜来教化众生。方便智慧是说，我知道度那么一个人，那个人用什么方法来度他，他会明白，他会了解，然后他会就得到解脱了。菩萨已经了生脱死，在第6之后，他不走，他就在这里，就度众生，开始应该说菩萨道之收获了。There's another interesting way to look at this, which is in the Sudana, our pilgrim, Shansai Tongzi, good wealth, as he goes out to walk the Bodhisattva path, he meets those 53 teachers, and number 7 in the 10 Transferences is who? It's Guanyin Bodhisattva. So truly this is compassion. Who when lifetimes of suffering come to an end, who would stick around and not seek liberation for yourself? Guanyin Bodhisattva would. That's the one who would do so. And the Bodhisattvas do that at this point. So from here, as we look at the transferences, we're going to be looking at expedient wisdom, skillful means in teaching. So wise application of the Dharma to teach living beings. 就说以后我们就说已经生生世世的这个在苦海里边就飘来飘去，现在出了头了，知道怎么离开，不离开。哪一个傻瓜就这样做了？哪一个不知算数的人这样做呢？应该说是菩萨。 就是观世音菩萨哈，你们可以看到我的后边那个观世音菩萨。那个香菜童子53参，你可以把这个菩萨道从头到尾，十信、十住、十恒、十回向，这个四无尽藏，还有这个十地灯教妙教，你可以把它跟香菜童子的53佛有这个53善知识比较，这个应该等于谁呢？是观世音菩萨，第7回向是观世音菩萨的善知识，这个香菜童子的大友，他的善友，Okay, now with that as the background for what we're looking at today, let's look at it. You ready? Let's read along here. 佛子云何为菩萨摩诃萨等随顺一切众生回向？佛子此菩萨摩诃萨随所积集一切善根，所谓小善根、大善根、广善根、多善根、无量善根、种种善根、为成数善根、而生起善根、无边际善根、不可思善根、不可量善根。Disciples of the Buddha, what is the Bodhisattva's Mahasattva's dedication that accords with all living beings equally? Disciples of the Buddha, Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas dedicate all good roots they accrue, including minor good roots, great good roots, vast good roots, many good roots, countless good roots, all kinds of good roots, good roots as numerous as particles of dust, asamkhyas of good roots, limitless good roots, inconceivable good roots, and immeasurably many good roots. Comma. Okay, we're in a list of 25 or 31. Look, more good roots to go. So, first of all, there is a question. Our speaker is Vajra Banner Bodhisattva. He is the Bodhisattva who's been doing all this teaching, this long chapter, and he asks a rhetorical question because he knows the answer, but somebody has to ask first before you can have it. So, what is the Bodhisattva's Mahasattva's dedication that accords with all living beings equally? That is to say, nobody is excluded. Everybody gets a portion of the good roots this Bodhisattva transfers, even if it's a single good root. He divides it equally and gives it away. And the mind now can contain every living being. So it's a bigger workload, but his resolve is even more clear and without exception. 现在菩萨他到了第7个地步，他就是反问时，他自己问，他已经知道这个答案，可是金刚创菩萨还要问：云何为菩萨摩诃萨随顺等随顺一切众生回向呢？他现在心真的清净，力量增长，结果他愿意回向的时候，没有一个众生不受他的回向的好处，甚至于他就说立一个善根，一个好处，他都能分开、分别回向给所有的众生，好的众生、不好的众生一样受到他的这个回向的功德，就没有一个不利益，没有一个不受他的回向功德。OK, take a look here. 然后呢，有31个一个名单，31种善根，是菩萨摩诃萨随所积集一切善根，所谓 OK， 就然后开始31个。 有小的，有大的，有广的，有多的，有无量的，有种种的，有微尘数那么多，有阿僧祇更多，有无边际又更多，不可思不可量。这都是从少成大，从少成多，从小成大，就是 expanding 扩大这样的。然后呢是什么？善根。什么叫善根？我们研究。Okay, take a look here. This bodhisattva dedicates all good roots they accrue. So there's our value proposition. They are going to be giving away everything that they accomplish. And then including, this is skillful translation, what follows is a list of 31 kinds of good roots, 31 definitions of good roots. Now, look at how they go. Minor ones, great ones, vast ones, many of them, countless of them, all kinds of in variety. Numerous as particles of dust, a Sankhya that's uncountable, limitless, no measure, no end, inconceivable, and immeasurably many. So here, this is a typical Avatamsaka Sutra construction. It goes from the small to the big, from the few to the many. So small in size to big in size, few in number to many in number, and it continues. It just expands and expands and expands. So what are good roots? Okay, take a look. I went to another text, which people are familiar with, to the Bai Fa Ming Men Lun, to the Shastra, the commentary on the 100 Dharmas of the Sarvastivadins. And in that text, there is a list of wholesome dharmas and unwholesome dharmas. There are actually 11 wholesome dharmas that make a perfect starting spot. Now, these are not all the good roots that are, certainly, but it's a good place to start. Right? 你如果就问什么叫善根，我就去我们师父讲过的这个百法明门论一部论天亲菩萨是不是？他那个100法就有一个名单名额，就是善法善法 ，oops， 善法是一个然后有11个不善法，有通通100个。这是一个好的开始的地方，我们就明白什么叫善法，因为这个是的确有这些善，就是善。我们如果心里有这11个这个德是一种德行的话那就有善根。因为 okay, let me explore these now and we'll talk about them after we know what they are. So the idea is if we can, these are, oops, wait a minute, I'm missing number 11. Where's number 11? I've got to go back. All right, I'll let you see how I got them. Go to 十一不害, there it is, right there. 十一不害. This is where, this is the 大乘百法明门论诠释 from where? From our DRBA. Let's see here. 目录, okay. Can I go? I don't think I can go back from here. 目录. No, maybe go out. Okay, we're going to DRBA Chinese. Here we go. DRBA Chinese. This is the home where I got this text, so everybody else can go get it if you want to. 如果各位想自己去看这个百法明门论哈，你就到我们 DRBA Chinese 话，然后这里 有线上阅读，线上阅读这一页，线上阅读是所有师父上人所讲的经，还有他的注解。So if you go to drbachinese.org, drbachinese.org, and then you go to that, if you don't know Chinese, you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7, right here, that one. Click on that. Oh, look what opens up. Every text that Shifu explained with the commentary. Available for you. And if we go down to Da Cheng Bai Fa Ming Man Lun, right here, this one right here, click on that, up it comes. 开始阅读, there it is. Okay, this is Da Cheng Bai Fa Ming Man Lun. Okay, now you know how to find this. 那么你们现在知道怎么样找到。好的，让我 add that last one. Okay, non-harming. These are 11 wholesome dharmas. 11 wholesome dharmas that are reliably wholesome. These are good roots. And you have to, although they're innate, if you don't cultivate them, they will wither away or never get uncovered. Just like, this is the mind ground at work. It's like a garden. So when you have a garden, if you don't cultivate the ground, then stuff will grow that you don't want, that you can't enjoy. Thistles, weeds, and maybe all the green goes away and it's just dry, brown ground, rocks, broken glass, wood, and car tires, and tin cans, and beer bottles. That's the ground that you don't cultivate. However, the same ground, no different, if we instead break up the soil, add in amendments, fertilizer, water it, plant down wholesome seeds, and then take care of it, oh my goodness, that very same piece of ground grows beautiful flowers and delicious fruits and wholesome crops and a garden space that when you walk into it, you feel awake in a whole new way. You feel alive and you feel like you and nature have really become one body. So same ground, depends on whether you cultivate it or not. So these wholesome dharmas are absolutely there when you cultivate them, and then you know what you have? Shangan, good roots. 就说这是一种法，你可以用就是心地法做比喻。那个比喻是怎么呢？就说有一块土，一块地，你如果不栽培，你什么都不做了，哇，那块土壤就会出了毒草，出了一些有刺有疼，这个你自己不能走进去，就会刺到你的脚，甚至于垃圾会在那里，玻璃碎啊，那个人家丢掉的车轮胎，木材，啤酒瓶打平了，很多垃圾在那儿。同样，一块地，一块土壤，你如果把它变成院子的话，你先打坡，用那个 rototiller 就啪，你浸下那块土呢，然后大块变成小块，小块变成这个有营养这些土，然后你加上肥料，浇水就是下种苗或者是什么种子，然后把它栽培了，哇，那个时候有很漂亮的花，你可以供佛，有水果可以吃，有五谷可以用了，可以布施给人呢，就是维持你的生命。 同样一块土，你如果好好的栽培，变成一个花园的话，你到哪里去，你都会觉得你跟大自然界就有连带的关系。所以修行，你如果从你自己的心就修这个十意善法，自然而然你就有善根，可以回向。Okay, this is the source of transference, isn't it? This is the material of transference. This is the resource that you transfer. Faith, also known as trust. Do you trust others? Are you trustworthy? Do you have faith in others? Are you faithful? If so, you have integrity. You can be trusted. Then vigor, strength, virya. You believe in a wholesome dharma and you apply it with strength. And as you go, what happens? The mind ground gets plowed up, and up comes a sense of shame and remorse, a sense of, I did it wrong in the past, but I can change in the future. Those are wholesome products of plowing the mind ground. These will arise. And then when greed comes up and anger comes up and delusion or stupidity comes up, you can weed it. You see them and you weed it, right? Okay, once the mind has been weeded, faith opens it up, vigor cultivates, shame and remorse soften the mind and defeat the self, pride and arrogance. Then you get rid of the weeds of greed, anger, and stupidity. What is next? Look here, Qing'an. This Qing'an, meditative clarity, is a good way to translate it. What happens is when you meditate, there's a sense of unity. There's a sense of oneness. The mind, you're very, very tuned in to yourself. Your six senses have turned around. And internally, you are basically nurturing the soil of the mind with the internal. This is where internal three jewels start to arise. Let's see, mature. Okay, and when you have this Qing'an, it's because you have allowed the Jing, Qi, and Shen, the essence, energy, and breath, and spirit of your own nature to mix, to put forth fruit. Then three protections. 不放逸, you are not mindless. That is to say, you don't chill out, or what do you say? You don't kick back and waste all of the progress the way you used to. 放逸, mindlessness, is like taking a break at the wrong time and scattering all of the jewels that you have gained through hard work here. Then Heng Sure. This one is hard to translate. Sure can mean different things. Sure can mean like letting go. It can mean renunciation, meaning giving back things that you no longer need. But it can also mean serenity and the sense of nothing bothers you now. You don't go high, you don't go low. You just stay very stable and mellow. Because why? You are working internally now. Finally, buhai, non-harming, ahimsa. This is that wonderful dharma associated with Gandhi, Mohandas Gandhi. And ahimsa means internally you are no longer able to harm yourself. Externally, you don't harm anyone else. At this point, the Bodhisattva path is under your feet, and harming would delay your vows, so you don't do that. Okay, let me translate that, and then we'll move on. 就说11个善根，你这样修，你就有善根可以回向。大善根、小善根、多善根这样子。I might add, the here on our text, right? Minor, great, vast, many, all kinds, numerous, boundless, limitless, inconceivably many. These begin here. These 11 are in the mind already, but we have to cultivate them. 就说你就有怎么说？你就有小山根、大山根、广大山根、多山根等等啊，都是从这11个开始。这11个善法都在自己的心里边，自信上都有啊。不过我们必须要修行，栽培他们，他们都出来了，那你就有小山根、大山根。从这里开始，相信佛法是对的，我就开始打坐，我就开始念佛，我就开始学戒啊，我就开始读经书等等念佛念咒啊，然后我知道这是好的，我就精进，就增长那个修行的时间。这样子，如果是花园的话，那个土壤已经开了，所以呢，自然都会有惭愧，惭有愧，惭过去我做的不对，愧以后我不会再做，我就说就以后改过从心了，所以就是这两个就是很就是很正常的一个效果。你好像你在那个花园子里边，你用一个斧头打开这个土啊，里边就知道哦石头哦，这里有那个树根呢，把它拔出来了哦，现在可以种花种菜。这个心地上，你一开这个心，把这个我相没有那么坚固啊，这些惭愧的回忆都会起来了，那么就可以惭愧，以后就没有了啊。所以这是很正常的一个感应啊。然后把这个贪嗔痴一个一个这些毒草拔出来了，就没有了。那么现在这个有精进修行，然后把这5个了，就把心弄它清净的话，你就有清安。清安的境界是一种禅定的灵感，不应该说灵感是一种效果因为你就有戒了，清净，所以呢，这个定开始，就是定的初步，那个内在的三宝精气神就现在开始有作用，然后最后3个是保护前边这个定力不放逸不散乱行舍，就说有这种安安静静的这种态度，坚固不会动摇能这个要不得的你就放下，然后呢不害就是甘地印度这个圣人，他那个不害是现在不害自己也不害外边他就有这种的大慈悲开始 OK， 然后呢let's see here， Schadenfreude 算是什么恶道 OK good question so 这11个都是善根的开始 right， 内在已经有很俱全，所以呢就应该说就是有现在可以回向。 Now the thing about these 11 wholesome dharmas is they're internal and we've got them, we already have them. If we uncover them through cultivation, that gives us good roots to transfer. 如果因为修行当中你就放开，你就说开发这是一个善法，那就有善根本来具足了Okay, question from Jen who says 心回乐捐 what is that? Schadenfreude, is it What is the Chinese? Xing Hui Le. I don't know how to say that. Here it is. Let's see. I have a question. I'll bring it out here. It's an interesting question. Somebody whose Chinese is better than mine can tell me how to read it. There we go. Schadenfreude. Xing Hui Le 什么? Yihuan, are you there and listening? YC, type it in there. So Schadenfreude is happy when somebody is in trouble. You enjoy others' misfortunes.
幸灾乐祸。
乐那个叫祸哈，幸灾乐祸。Okay, 幸灾乐祸. Thank you. So Schadenfreude, people know that if somebody else whom you don't like or whom you wish evil to gets in trouble, it makes you happy. That's called Schadenfreude. Joy at others' misfortune is Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is a German word, right? Is Schadenfreude a harmful path? Dharma, small d Dharma. Question. Yes, the answer is yes, it is. Not per se, but look at the mind. Who wants others to experience trouble? If you have that thought, and of course it is natural when, let's say, of course you apply it right away to the Middle East, to Israel and Palestine, and you think, they have harmed me, so they should suffer. Okay, first of all, there is a self who wishes that. There's a strong division of self and others. And the four mark mind, self, others, living beings, and life are all there. So what do you say? You say, 争是胜福心与道相违背，辩胜四相心，由何得三昧? If the fighting is an attitude of victory and defeat, it stands in opposition to the Tao, and it creates this self and others. Where is samadhi going to come from? So in order to estimate is Schadenfreude harmful or evil, it's not in itself. You're free to do anything you want, but look what happens when you wish others to have something wrong, to have something go wrong, is you yourself, because Schadenfreude is based on self and others, you can't experience samadhi. The self is too strong. So in order to, in other words, really enter samadhi and experience great compassion and liberation, you have to see living beings as yourself. So wishing harm to them harms you immediately. So it would be unskillful to wish others evil. Now, who can do it? Well, you have to really be a bodhisattva to not, for example, let's just say, suppose you think that Donald Trump is not helpful to democracy. And if Donald Trump were suddenly to lose his power of speech, the only thing that would have to happen is Donald Trump would just sew his lips shut or put a piece of duct tape over his mouth. How much better the world would be if he would just shut up and just not talk. Why does he have to talk? If he would just dry up, you think, wow, maybe America could stop the civil war that we're now experiencing. We saw how internal division rendered Israel weak when they were attacked. Many people will tell you that it's because the current leadership in Israel is so divisive that Israel was unprepared when they were attacked. Who else in the world right now has that experience of divisiveness, internal division? I know one country I could think of. So the cause of that, if that person could just be quiet. I had this vision the other day of the leading candidate in the Republican Party just having tape applied to his mouth. What a wonderful thing that would be if he just didn't talk. And he could use his hands and point, but he couldn't talk. America would cool off. Is that Schadenfreude? Well, yeah, probably. And I thought, wow, it's a bodhisattva is really wonderful when you see a bodhisattva truly practicing Deng Sui Shun, Deng Ping Deng Sui Shun. How does it go? Let me click on my. It's called Deng Sui Shun, Yi Qie Zhong Shang Hui Xiang. How hard that is to really do it, to accord dedication that accords with all beings equally. 就说这种的思想就说灾祸乐灾幸灾乐祸，这种是说你的敌人或者你不喜欢的人碰到问题糟糕了，你就开心，你就高兴。他的灾难是我的乐处，那个就是这种的那个是德国话 Schadenfreude。就说他受困难，我高兴。他问题是说，算不算恶道？我说，你不必问别的，你就说争是胜负心，与道相违背，变成四相心由合的三昧。你一有争心，就是分别人我他是敌人，他问题困难临头。我就高兴，那你的我相多重，那个四相心多坚固，所以你自己一有那个念头，不能入定，就说由何得三昧啊，没有了。所以，可是问题是什么？这就是真的要有菩萨心肠，能这样做，不容易啊。就说他对我这么不好，他应该，我就说要求报仇，就说如果他对我们不好，所以他也受不好，就是很不容易有平等心。可是呢，我们这个回向，第七回向叫什么？等随顺一切众生回向，就是说没有一个我都不愿意回向给他平等心真的不容易。所以简单的答复呢，算不算恶道？是算障碍。恶不恶，善道恶道，就会障碍自己，就把那个前边所有的辛辛苦苦的修来的功德呢就没有了，不能成功，不能入定因为不平等。Okay, so I need to get on with our story. Ask your question next week, earlier. Okay, the second will follow up. This is a really good investigation. 这样子研究我觉得非常有意思可是现在我们还要讲那个玄奘法师 So 那个下个礼拜可以继续研究 I'll keep this. I'll take your second question here and okay. And we can continue to look into it next week. Okay. No problem. We can investigate. All right, so we've got to start. 我们已经开始第七回向It has to do with Bodhisattva's expedient skill, dedicating merit equally to all, no Schadenfreude. 这就是菩萨他用他现在的功夫，他回向的时候，那个功德就平等饶益所有的这众生，没有一个不受菩萨的这个平等回向。你说多么不容易哈 Okay, here we go. Master Shenzong is in the middle of his letter. What does he say? He says, 然后展业众师，秉承正法，归海翻译，广布未闻，简诸见之愁林，决意断之传凿，补相化之一阙，定宣门之指南，数次为公，用大书则。He says, I will visit all the teachers and learn the supreme law from them. After returning to my country, I will translate the scriptures to spread what has not yet been known, so as to clear the wrong views and to refute the heretical theories, as well as supplement the incomplete part of the Buddha's teaching and set a compass for all to enter the gate of truth. With this humble task, I shall repay you for your special kindness, he says. Now, look at this. He is laying out the blueprint for his trip. It's as if he knows what's going to happen already. And we haven't said this before, but we know 3 great Chinese monks who went out and came back, right? Master Shenzong was the most famous, and Master Yijing Sanzang, and Master Shen, I just lost the name of the third monk who famous and wrote his journal, and he came back. So of these are the 3 that we know in particular, but there were hundreds who went and left their bones on the desert and did, what did they say? Fell off the icy bridge, the bridge over the perilous icy river, and died. And look at him. It's as if he knows. He's got the plan right here. This is, and he's just taken basically his first couple steps, and yet he knows what's ahead. 大家注意，玄奘大师呢，他那么那个路途呢，可以说走了第1、第2步，刚刚开始，可是他好像知道他全路途，然后回来啊。那么有法显法显法师，然后有义净上当，然后玄奘大师，3位非常有名的这个对了，法显有他们成功，玄奘大师是第2个，他们都写书。不过呢，我们不知道名字的没成功的，像印度取经的法师几百个，真的他们的尸体就留在那个大摩河岩，或者就过那个就说冰河，就说宣都灵溪之线，他们掉下来，他们都没成功。玄奘大师他好像知道他自己会成功，你看，这就是好像一个地图了。Okay, what else? 又前途既远，不获久停，明日此为欲争气断，不认明鹤，锦起谢文。As the way that lies ahead is far, I cannot afford to stay here any longer. I shall take leave of you tomorrow, and this makes me feel all the more sorrowful in my mind. With many thanks, I'm writing this letter to express my deep gratitude. So, look at that. We finally finished this letter. Just amazing to get a sense of who we're talking about. Who is this monk, after all? Look at this long letter. He took up his writing brush and just started. Shenzong has heard that to depend on a boat with oars to cross the river and the sea that's deep, you have to depend on the holy teachings to guide us out of the doubts that people have in their minds. Oops, whoa, this is deep. And then he goes on and praises the king, but doesn't give him an ego. He knows to talk to kings, you don't dare say no. and he wants to be grateful, and he's explaining what he's doing, what brought him to the country of Gaochang, and what's ahead. And he's also just saying, thank you for setting me up with these incredible provisions and letters of transit and gifts and the gear that you gave me. Just amazing. Beautifully written. And you just kind of straighten up in your chair and go, oh, this guy is extraordinary. 这封信实在很妙的，很微妙。他呢就要对国王那个高昌王要说告别啊，就说就先走了，他赞叹国王这是必须要的，对于这个这么一个唯我独尊的一个人，可是你不是给他戴高帽子，这真是他同时就说真实感谢，同时他都解释他什么因缘才能到这个高昌这个国家，他宗旨、他的目标、他的希望都写了很清楚，就好像预先提前知道他这个路途是多么困难。然后呢，他又讲事实，就是国王给他这个推荐信，给他一些礼物，给他地图，给他4个土地，4个年轻的这些侍者，然后很多很多可用的这个东西，就保护身体了。哦，他又说他回来是这么一回事，解释为什么要走，不能留，写的真的写的太妙了。所以我们看这封信，就知道这个唐朝的这个大的高僧实在是凤毛麟角，与众不同。Okay, the king says, are we ready? The king says, 王豹日月，法师既许为兄弟，此国家所需，共之同有，何云谢也。What does the king say? The king says, since you consented to be my brother, what I have in my country, mi casa su casa, it is your common property. There's no cause for you to thank me. No need to say thank you. We're brothers. Oh my goodness. Not easy. 发日王与诸僧、大臣、百姓等，亲都送出城西。王报法师痛哭，道肃皆悲。上礼之声震动交易，就说赤非及百姓等患，自欲大德一下，各乘马送数10里而归。On the day of the departure, the king and the monks, the ministers and the people, all came out to send the master to the western suburb of the city. The king gave him a hug and cried piteously, while the monks and laymen all felt sorrowful. The sounds of farewell resounded in the suburbs. The king ordered his queen and the people to go back. Then, accompanied by the monks, each on a horse, he escorted the master to a distance of several tens of li. So, let's say 30 li, that's 10 miles. Look at this. So it's never easy to say goodbye. So the king has done a pretty good job. This is a good farewell. He goes out with the monks to see him off and start him on his journey. So Master Xuanzang has to feel like he's got a wind at his back now. What a boost to his journey to meet the king from Gaochang. But look at the cost. Look at what it cost him. He said no, and it made the king angry. to a bribe. He didn't take the bribe. He didn't allow personal desire to arise. He kept his mission foremost. And how hard is that to do? Because the king of Gaochang was truly an extraordinary king, it was the right choice. And so instead of getting a fat position and lots of good food and disciples and power and fame, Master Xuanzang said, yeah, I'm going to go out and climb the snowy mountains and cross the deserts and face the bandits because I have something I have to do. And who can do that? Not easy at all. 玄奘大师现在应该觉得，国王这样子送别，是你看国王跟着10里路，然后才说再见，宋法师，这都是因为玄奘大师没有受他的贿赂，没有受他的无意的供养。可以一般的人，普通的人，一个国王说我愿意供养你一辈子，所有这个国家的老百姓是你的土地，我们都每天来听你讲法，你可以有多少道场都是给你供养，你喜欢吃什么就吃什么，很多人都会说 OK，not bad。他没有，他说，因为我发愿，我必须要上那个大沙漠，过大沙漠，要上那个雪山，我要到最危险的，这个河边呢，跟土匪一起变，有没有回来的保险？一点都没有，多数就说90%就糟糕，死了。我还要面这些困难，因为必须要跟着我的愿力去做，不容易。因为这个关系，所以国王也现出来他的与人不同的地方，他就丰富做护法，所以不容易哦，不容易。处处玄奘大师是这个就说值得我们已经1400年过后，我们还记得他啊。其所尽诸国，往后几众礼众，皆此类也。从是西行，渡无半程，渡尽城后，入俄其尼国。The kings and nobles of the countries through which the master passed all honored him in the same way. Going towards the west, he crossed the towns of Wupan and Tuqin, finally entered the country of Agni. All right, chapter 1 is over. So, my goodness, what an amazing story. And sadly, he is little known. People don't know his name. But those of us who do, the more you, what do they say about Confucius? The more you look up, the higher he goes, and the more you try to embrace him, the broader he gets. So, all right. Let's do our, what do we have here? Let's see here. Here we go. Namo Doba Ru Rai, Namo Shan Ru Rai, Namo Miao Shai Shan Ru Rai, Namo Guangbo Shan Ru Rai. Share your screen, dummy. Namo Guangbo Ru Rai, Namo Libu bird cafe, we have 3 new cockatoos who have trouble, who are sick. And they come every day, sometimes twice. And I think, okay, we have provided a hospice area for birds who are sick because they know they can get some food here. They don't have to compete. But watching these birds who are sick, oh, it's hard. They have a disease called beak and feather disease. And one of the birds just lost his eye, and it's awful to look at. And you just want to say, Amitofo, we can 结缘。这里我们喂鸟，那个鹦鹉，白色的大的鹦鹉，有3位，3只3粒，3只现在出来了，就有毛病了，有这个疾病。他们比那个一群鸟慢，所以他们找到我这边，每天都有 bird seed 就喂给他们，这是好的，他们有东西吃不过每天看他们，哎呀，这个生老病死苦所以为他们念这个七宝如来的名号。So when these birds arrive, I recite the 7 Tathagatas names for them and say, please escape your birds' bodies quickly, you know. But these, it's interesting, these birds, these parrots, live 20 years. 他们会活着20年。May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may our minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. All become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. Here's the Buddhas. Everyone is invited to bow. 我们大家一起礼佛，好吧？Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. All right, that'll do it for us for today. See you all next week. Shagari Bai Satyan. Amitofo, everybody.
Thank you, 师父。
Amitofo.